Hey, how's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. Boys, I'm glad you dropped in. Some nice that you drop in and visit me all the time. So what's going on in the shop today, you ask? Well, I have a little project where I want to build a drawer for a little cabinet here that's under my grinder. Let's go look and see what I'm up to. But what I'd like to do is, down here in the bottom of the grinder where I have that white and red box, I'm going to put a drawer in there. So that's what the project is today. I'm going to build a drawer to put in there because this grinder table, it's a little bit top heavy, so I'd like to make it heavier. So putting something at the bottom would help that. And also here I have a couple of spare stones, and also you'll notice my wire wheel has no guard on it, and the grinder at the back for polishing and sharpening has no guards on it. So I have those guards, and I'd like to put those in the drawer down here at the bottom too. So I'm going to put a drawer in the bottom of my grinder. To get started on this, what I want to do is put a false floor in here, and then I'll set my drawer on top of it. So the drawer's not going to be very wide. It's going to be, I don't know, 8-9 inches tall, but just big enough so I can slide it out to get those stones in and a few other little odds and sods I have for the grinder. So I had some of these sample pieces of wallboard, and it has like an arborite finish on it. So I'm going to use this for the base so my drawer can slide on this. Alright, so there's my piece with the corners cut out of it. So the next thing I want to do is build a drawer that's going to go in here, and I need the drawer to be deep enough to hold these stones. So 9 inches deep, 6.5 inches wide, and 14.25 inches long. It's not going to be a big drawer, but I need it deep enough to hold these stones, so that should go good there. And there's a little bit of weight to these stones, so that should add a little bit of weight to the bottom of the grinder table. Okay, you know me, I don't like to throw anything out, so we had a dresser in the camp that we had no need for anymore, so it was a pretty good quality dresser. So rather than throw it out, of course I stripped it apart. So these are the pieces left from it. These are 1/2 inch sides for the drawers. So I'm going to use those to make my drawer. Alright, so there's our drawer. Just have to drill and put some more screws here on both sides. So there's my box, or my drawer I guess you'd call it. So it should fit right in here. Something like that. So now I need to make a front for here. And I'd like to put a cover in it too, because it'll get awful, it'll get filled with grit and grime from the grinder if I don't. And I'm going to need a way to keep it from slopping around in here too, see? I don't want it doing that. So I'm going to make a drawer front out of this piece of 3/4 plywood I have. So I'm going to set it right there, make it flush on the side here. Mark it back here. Then I'm going to rip this on the saw and then come back and cut it to the right height. Then I'll just screw that to the drawer. Wait, now I may as well center the drawer, right? Okay, the drawer is centered, the face is on. I'm going to take that over and I'm going to drill, I don't know, 4 holes in it, put some screws in it. Then all I need to do is put a pull on the front, we're done. Alright, I just put the front on with 4 screws in the inside there. Now I need a pull for that, and what I like to use for pulls is, I have it in a couple of different places in the shop. This is just web cord, and this is web straps, I mean. And these are left over from ratchet straps that you buy. They always break. Well, don't throw the cord out. So anyways, I was going to just make a loop, put it on there. So I have my torch. Then we just, doesn't take much heat, just to sear the end of this so that it won't fray. So that looks good. Now my hand is about that big, so if I put a loop on there, and then add that much, make another loop. If I cut it about here, it should be alright. What do you think? Alright, we just melt this up again. So that's where my screws are going to go in, right there. Okay, so I just have 1-inch screws, and I have these countersink washers. So that should hold it pretty good, I think. That might be a little bit better, eh? So it hangs out a lot, but that's good. It'll be easy to catch hold of, right? So what I want to do to try to keep the drawer from slopping back and forth here is I want to put pieces between these 2 uprights. So what I did is I just took an old hunk of 2x4, cut that to length. I'm going to put that in there. So then as the drawer comes in, it'll brush against the inside of this and then line up good with the back. And I'm just eyeballing this in the jig just to set it up there. So now this piece is going to go right here, and I'm going to put it against my mark that I made here. So I'm going to clamp that right about there. Then I want to check to make sure this is square. Not bad. And that draws her in there pretty tight. Now I'm going to put one on the other side, and then I'm going to cut a piece and make a top for it. So I had a piece of, well, we call this Ranger board. It's just a fiber board. Like, anyway, it's good and heavy. That's what I liked about it. So we're going to put this in here, something like that. Does the drawer fit? Oh, it looks kind of, you know, amateurish here. So there's my grinder sitting back where it's going to live. It fits pretty good underneath the nuts and bolts cabinet, so that's going to work out alright. The drawer, I added this little top piece here in the drawer just to sort of cover up, because there was quite a little opening there, and I was afraid of all the grindings and whatnot that would be getting into it. So that doesn't look too bad, and that piece I put on there is flush with the top, so I can take things like this, slide in there, make a good shelf for that. And also, this drawer then, I can start putting things in it like I wanted to, like these stones for the grinder. They fit in it quite well. I have all the hardware materials that I had for holding those covers on. I saved all that, of course, so I can put all that in this drawer as well. So if I ever needed to put it back on, it'll be there. That's good for that. I also have my little wheel here for truing up the stones. Put that in there. That's going to work good. And of course my safety glasses I hang on the front here, so I like it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Made up that little drawer for the grinder. I think it's going to work great. Put all my grinder accessories in there, and it makes the little grinder table bottom heavy and not so top heavy, so it doesn't, I'm not so afraid of it flipping over. So thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Boys, I'm so glad you dropped by Grampie's Workshop. You're welcome here anytime. And for my regular viewers every week that watch my videos, thanks so much for that. Don't forget, everybody, thumbs up me. I love getting comments too, so don't be afraid to put a comment in. And stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.